Today we're going to look into one of the most commonly used expressions in the yoga world, that is essentially you can choose your Cobra or upward facing dog, and we're going to once and for all explain the difference between those two and why you would use either one. Because many times it's something that's said quickly, like just do Cobra or upward facing dog, and people don't even know the difference, or they say you're doing a Cobra and they're showing an upward facing dog, and what is even the difference and what is the intention. So for once and for all, we're going to try to clarify by showing you the actual difference and the key points of what it is and some common misalignment in both, and how we can actually have a healthy and safe Cobra, upward facing dog, and when we're doing either or both, we understand what we're doing and we're doing it anatomically correct. So when I'm teaching a class, I will always cue people first into what we call the baby Cobra. This is an essential fundament for both of them. So essentially what we do in the baby Cobra, we're going to lift the chest and we're not going to use the hands. When we do this, we're engaging the muscles we really want to engage here, the QL, so the quadratus lumbar. These muscles are going to help us to lift up without using the hands. So it's an active engagement of the back body. And that's what we actually want. We want to engage the back body, open the front body, and have a spinal extension. So the spine is going to extend. What we see happen very commonly, just a little common mistake here, is that people do this. So they're creating a lot of extension in the cervical, in the neck, but they're not opening in the chest, because here we know there's a lot of tension many times. So an extra cue we can say is to draw the shoulder blades back and down, shows shoulder retraction, scapular retraction, lift through the chest and not use the hands. So I would say keep the chin a bit to the chest and lift with the heart. So that's a cue that can help really set up our physical foundation and muscular activation for this position. Then when we go to Cobra, we are actually going to use the hands, have them under the shoulders, and facilitate the spinal extension by using the hands, but without, common mistakes here, without bringing the shoulders up, so without this, and without compressing the lumbar. Because what we see here many times is when we keep the hips to the floor, and that is what actually differentiates the Cobra from the upward facing dog. One of the differences is that we keep the hips to the floor. So we keep the hips to the floor, and this way actually you will see that it's a stronger spinal extension in the Cobra than the upward facing dog, even though the upward facing dog requires a little bit more muscular engagement in the shoulders and the arms, because you'll be lifting the body. I'll show you in a moment. So common mistakes in the Cobra are cues we definitely want to bear into mind, is that we are lifting from the spine and the muscular activation in the back. So instead of just full force straightening the arms, what you see people do here, you see that they are here. So what they are doing is they're compressing the lower back, lifting up the shoulders, and they are focusing all the extension of the spine in the lumbar, the lower back, and sometimes also in the neck. So it will look like this. What we want to do is we want to kind of start with our engagement, lumbar engagement, like in the baby Cobra, then pressing into the hands, and while keeping the scapular retraction, shoulder blades back and down, slowly start to straighten the arms, but with awareness of the full spine. So maintaining length and integrity of the spine and keeping the whole spine long. So shoulders back and down, we are here in the Cobra. Then another common thing, it's to really squeeze the buttocks. We don't want to do that, but we do want to activate the glutes a little bit. So the back body is engaged, so we have that full engagement through the back line of the body, and the hands are merely supporting the lift, but we maintain the active activation of the baby Cobra. And the third one is the upward facing dog. So in the upward facing dog, the hand position will actually be a little bit more back. So it will not be underneath the shoulders, but just a bit more back to the center of the rib cage. And what we're going to do here is that same retraction of the shoulder blades, same drawing navel in and up and engaging through the core, But this time we're going to press through the arms, and the spinal extension will be a bit less. I'm going to demo to you in a moment, because when we do the Cobra, we are here, and in upward facing dog, we are here. So can you see, if I would bring my hips down, that I have more extension necessary in my lower back than when I'm here. So the key here, the key engagement in the upward facing dog, is to draw the navel into the spine and keep the lumbar a bit less extended, but try and draw the shoulders a bit more back and down, pressing through the hands and keeping or creating more space in the upper back and the front of the chest. Then again, instead of looking all the way up and dropping the cervical back and the neck back, keeping the neck long, gaze to the top of the nose in all forms, baby cobra, cobra, and upward facing dog, and then pressing through the arms. And then if we go to downward facing dog, put the knees down, draw the navel to the spine, and press back. So once again, to round it up, baby cobra, no hands, hands underneath the shoulders, engaging the back line of the body from the heels up to the crown of the head by drawing shoulder blades back and down, turning on the QL and engaging the glute muscles and pressing the tops of the feet into the floor for extra grounding and support. Then when we move into Cobra, without compression, so with length with the spine, slowly straightening the arms, and the arms don't have to be straight all the way, but make sure we're dividing the stretch over the body, over the whole spine, instead of compressing just the part that is more flexible, and therefore doing more bad than good. Actually, we want to focus on the whole spinal elongation. And the third option is to go to up dog to create more strength in the arms and upper body, sliding the hands a bit back, drawing the navel to the spine and pressing through the arms. And this time the arms are always straight. If this is too much for the arms, you can put the knees, but make sure you draw the navel to the spine, pull the shoulder blades always back and down, and rise through the chest, upwards facing dog. And then pressing to downward facing dog in our own pace. So we really hope that this was helpful for you, both as a practitioner and as a teacher, not just to see it, but to feel it and to have the appropriate cues to make sure we avoid these common mistakes and ensure that our practice is contributing to a more healthy body, a correct engagement, and essentially an injury-free practice and life. Let us know in the comments below if this is helpful and if there are any other positions you'd like to evaluate and look into, because we're super grateful to share that knowledge with you, so together we can have a more conscious practice and lifestyle as well. Thank you.